Welcome to day 7 of the 7 days of financial clarity. And today we are talking about why processes are the real growth lever. Growth doesn't break businesses, lack of processes do. We've all seen this happen. We all see that things are moving along. All of a sudden there's this huge pain point that comes along and the business just falls apart. Processes create consistency, and that's why they're so important to have. I think a lot of businesses take processes for granted, or they take a certain person for granted because they have all that travel knowledge and they can just do the task. But what happens if they leave or retire and now all of that knowledge is gone because it wasn't written down? And so it's really important to start day one by building a foundation with each department in your organization. What are those processes? Because consistency matters also. Because as you will see, there's a lot of times people come in and like, oh, well, I do it this way. Kelly over here does it this way. Brandon does it this way. We're all doing the same task, but we do it different ways. But there's little nuances to that cause there to be some inconsistencies. The only way to really avoid doing that is to make sure that you have these very clear processes. So now whatever somebody on your team is doing is very consistent. We also want to be able to have predictable numbers. When we don't have predictable numbers in this sense, meaning that the process is broken, our numbers might vary or they're getting in at different times. Now we can't make confident decisions because we're waiting for somebody to enter something in. And that causes problems when you really got to make things in a real-time basis to know how to lead your company. Without clear processes, again, we're just going back to relying on our memory. Oh yeah, I need to do this and I need to do this. You see this a lot. So a good example is in accounting when we're looking to close out our month end. Depending on the size of your company, you may have a list of 20 things, you may have a list of 100 things that need to be closed out all throughout the month in preparation for that. How do you build that out and have your team ready to go so that they are consistently closing your books the 10th of each month? And that's where a good process comes in, your checklist. Also letting people own those certain areas of the business so that things are done right. And this is where finance and operations really come together. And this is what I love more than anything is seeing how they come together. Because if you're just looking at finances, you're just looking at numbers. You're not seeing the operational component of it. And finance bleeds into every part of the business, whether you want to believe that it does or not, but it does. And we need to be able to make those two work together. So when I'm out in the field or in the warehouse, I need to see every moment of how finance is touching those operations inside that business. So that is a big thing of what I look into with my clients, what I help them learn, and what hopefully you can learn from this. So remember, processes aren't red tape. It's just how you're going to scale the chaos. They come into place, it helps things run smoother, and it's also going to start, you'll see the financial effect of that, because when you have very clear processes, things are done a little bit faster, they're done more correctly, and you have less error that's in place. So now you're even more confident in the numbers and everything that's going on inside the organization. This is just something that's really, really good to understand. Day one, make those processes, have them in place. All right, thanks everybody so much for watching over the last 7 days. If you watched the series and thought, oh my gosh, this feels familiar, this wasn't an accident, you needed to hear this. So every topic this week pointed to the same issue. It's not a lack of effort, it's not a lack of intelligence. It really comes back to a lack of structure between your money and your systems. And most founders don't need more advice, they just need the clarity that comes along with it. That's the work that I do, helping businesses build clarity where money meets systems. So hopefully this was a great opportunity for you to learn a few things. If you have questions about anything, feel free to drop them in the DMs. Also, as always, reach out to me. Would love to talk more about your company and see if this might be a great fit to work together. As we're moving into the next year, there's always lots of things that people want to improve with their businesses and get them to where they want to be.